told you.
Hey, thanks for coming back. Hey, check this out. Today I'm making a chili con carne, right? It's going to be nice. It's going to be creamy, rich and thick. I'm going to have a sour cream mayo sauce on top, garnished with a little bit of cilantro. I know you're going to enjoy this. I'm using the red kidney beans from the last video. Yeah, I cleaned them, they're ready, and we're going to cook them up. This is what we're making. See if you can see this. I don't know, can you see that? I know you saw a thumbnail. Yeah, this is a dish best served when it's chili. Hey, this is Shrashira. That's the best elevator music I ever heard. So these are the main vegetables we're going to need, right? A couple of carrots, bell pepper, about a medium or so onion. I like the onions. And then a big tomato. Okay, so I'm going to get these washed up and then we're going to prep them and we'll see what's going on. So now with our tomato, we're going to just hollow out the core here. This is one of those big steak tomatoes. So I want to get this out. Sometimes this can be too big for a melon baller. And then here in the bottom, you just want to put an X, right? Because what we're going to do, I have some water boiling on the stove, and we're going to put this in the boiling water for about 45 seconds, and then we're going to take it out and immediately put it into some ice water, and that's going to help the skin peel right off because we don't want the skin. Okay, so we use our spider. I'm going to put the tomato in, and we just want to roll it around. We want that hot water to get all over the tomato. So I think what I'll do is give this side here about 20-30 seconds, and I'll flip it over, and I'll do the same thing to the other side. Then we'll plunge it in some ice water. Now, normally you want the water to be a little bit higher so it covers the entire tomato, but I didn't do it this time. To be honest with you, it kind of slipped my mind that I was using these big giant beef tomatoes. Let's turn this guy over. And see, you can already see the skin starting to peel away. See that? See, it's already starting to peel away. So we can give this 20 to 30 seconds, and we're going to pull it out, plunge it into the ice water. And I'm going to just check it to see if it's peeling away yet, and that's how you know it's time to pull it out. Because you're not cooking the tomato at this point, you see? See how this is looking now? It's just now starting to peel away. Alright, turn the heat off. Grab our ice water here. Grab our tomato right in the ice water. We want to stop it from cooking. Okay. Move this pot over to cool because we're going to be washing it to use it again. Okay, now we're going to take our spider. Take our tomato out. Now we're just going to peel this guy. Just gonna, see how easy the skin comes off now? See that? That's why we do it that way. So I'm not going to be fighting, trying to peel tomato. Look how easy this comes off. I'm not going to be fighting trying to peel the skin off a tomato. Nope, not doing it. This way, look at that. This way is much easier. Now we're going to chop this guy up. Now it's up to you. If you want to leave the seeds in, you can. Completely up to you. I'm leaving the seeds in. And you can cut these up as big or as small as you like. But I do like to have some bigger pieces in there. It's just me, my personal preference. You could dice it up if you like. Looks like I'm gonna need a big container. Hold on. There we go. All right. Work on the bell peppers. All right. Chop the bell peppers up. And we don't need a whole lot of bell pepper, but I'm going to put a whole lot of bell pepper in it for the most part. I had it, so I'm going to use it. And again, remember when you prepare bell peppers to make sure you don't get any of that white membrane there. That white rib, that's bitter. And that's why people don't like bell peppers, because that membrane was left on the bell pepper. So just cutting these into those sticks here. Now I'm going to dice them up. Okay, now we're going to do the onion. Pull the paper off. And I like to go one layer down past the paper. Alright, now we're going to do the carrots. Alright, now let's cut up the carrots. Take the root end off. Go. And we want to cut these up small as well. Okay, our vegetables, the basic vegetables, or our base vegetables are prepped. Now let's move on to the next step. Now there's one other thing I want to cut up, and that's a smoked sausage. Okay? Now how much you use is up to you. Okay? But I'm going to be using quite a bit, because I like the taste of it. So you want to cut these relatively small as well. All right. Now let's show you what other meat we're going to use. Here we have 1 pound ground beef. Got to have that. All right, so here are our main ingredients all together here. From the bottom, we have here a teaspoon or so of paprika, half a teaspoon of ground cumin, teaspoon of salt, which we really don't need that much, but I use kosher salt, so it's not as strong as table salt. 1/3 cup of flour, Now, if you don't want to put flour in this, you can substitute it for a tomato paste, right? So like 2 tablespoons of tomato paste if you need to substitute that. We have about a half a teaspoon of ground black pepper. Here we have 2 garlic cloves that have been minced. We have a couple of bay leaves here. We have our bell pepper that we diced up. We have our onion that we diced up. We have 1/3 cup of white wine, white cooking wine. Okay, we have our carrots that we diced up. Olive oil that we're going to need to saute the vegetables. We have our tomato that we chopped up. We have the 1 pound of ground beef. We have our smoked sausage. I think this was like 14 ounces or so. We have our kidney beans. You saw from the previous video how I prepared these, but this is a cup of kidney beans that have been soaked and washed. The red kidney beans. And then last but not least, we have 4 cups of beef broth. Okay? First thing we're going to do is start sauteing the vegetables. Alright, so we got the heat on here. We're going to add a couple tablespoons of olive oil. We're going to add our bell peppers in. Where those go in. Our onions. Right? Carrots. And our garlic. Okay, and we're going to mix these all up. Smells amazing. Now we're going to saute these for a few minutes till they get soft. Also, it needs to be noted that we're not really caramelizing these vegetables. We're just softening them. Okay? Now, if in the process of softening them, they get a little caramelization happening, perfectly fine. Alright, now at this point, they're nice and softened, tender. Now we're going to add our ground beef. And we're going to brown the ground beef. So we're going to keep this going till it's nice and brown. And also, if you need to add the lid on this, put the lid on your pot just to help it out, by all means. Coming along quite nicely. I wish you could smell this. Amazing. And also, while the ground beef is browning, chop it up. You want it to be, you don't want big chunks of it. I mean, it's not a meatball, right? So just chop it up while you stir it up. Don't worry about the grease. Alright, we're going to let this go for another couple minutes and we'll be back. Alright, now it's at this point we're going to be adding our flour. Now, like I said before, you can substitute this with tomato paste, right? A couple tablespoons of tomato paste. Be a nice, real quick substitute. Get this mixed in. And right off the bat, this is going to take away a lot of that oil, if not all of it. But let's get this all nice and mixed in. Once it's mixed in, we want to stir it around and cook it for about a minute. Because we're going to cook that flour taste off of it, you see? Alright, so now at this point, we're going to add our tomatoes. And our white wine. Okay. Give this a mix. And we're going to saute this, or mix this up, for a good 40 seconds or so, right? And we'll be right back. Okay? Now, at this point, we're going to add our beef broth. All of it. It's mixed up. And just stir it up. You can feel at the bottom it's deglazing the pan, so take your spoon and just kind of rough it across the bottom, kind of scrape it. Now we're going to put the lid on it, and we're going to let this come to a boil, and we will be right back. Alright, it's percolating here. Now at this point, we want to add the 2 bay leaves. And I know you see like the little grease stuff on top, right? We're going to take care of that here pretty soon. And then we want to add our kidney beans. Got them all in there. Okay. Stir it in. And the beans are still hard because they're not cooked. So now this has to cook for about an hour to an hour and a half. Now, this first half hour, we're going to be watching it. And we're going to be skimming it. And we're going to watch it close because we don't want it to overflow. Okay? And to skim it, I have my little skimmer here. You know, sometimes they're using the hot pot. I'm not sure if I showed you guys on video using the hot pot, but use it on the hot pot to get rid of the layers of fat on the top that sometimes accumulate. This is very good at it, right? So I'll be using that. So we're gonna let this go for a half hour, and we'll see what we're looking at. And also, now that it's like boiling, we're gonna reduce this temperature. We're gonna turn it down to medium-low. You know, almost between low and medium-low, right? But closer to medium-low, because we just want this to simmer nice and slow. All right, so we're a couple minutes in. We just want to take our skimmer, just skim across the top. Let's get some of this fat. See when you lift it up, see how it holds the fat? Put that to the side. We'll leave our vegetables in the pot and just get rid of the fat. And because we put the flour in it, you see it's a nice, rich, thick sauce. And additionally, the beans that we added in here, the ones that are broken up, as they cook and get tender, they're going to slowly start to dissolve, and it's going to thicken it up even more. Okay, it's been half an hour. You see, since we skimmed the fat off, there's still a little bit of fat, but now you get like this nice sheen, this glistening on the top. That's not fat. It's a little clearer. But now what we're going to do, we're going to add our sausage. Add all our sausage. Add our pepper. Our cumin. Our paprika. Right? Get all that in there. A little bit of salt. Now we're going to stir this up. And we're going to let this cook. Let it continue to cook So about another 45 minutes to an hour. And we're going to check on it. The only difference is, for the first 10 minutes of that time, we're going to put the lid on it. And then after that 10 minutes, we're going to crack the lid so it can start reducing properly, because we want it to reduce, you see. Alright, so 10 minutes is gone, so what we're going to do now, just crack it. And we got about 50 minutes left. You know, this is just a guesstimation, right? Because it's going to evaporate different depending on your temperature. I got this just over low, right? You just have to watch it, okay? You want a lot of this liquid to be gone, okay? You know what chili looks like. So it's up to you how you like it. If you like it really soupy, by all means have it soupy. If you like it a little thicker, let it reduce. See you when it gets closer to being done. Alright, it's been about an hour and 15 minutes. It's at this point, you want to taste your seasonings. So we got my tasting chopsticks here. See what we got? Not bad. That's really good. Now let me find a bean. Oh, I have one. There it goes. Let this one cool a bit. And then I want to test it to see if it's done or not. It's going to be hot. Got the bean. Almost. Yep. I'll say about another 20 minutes and we'll be good to go. Okay, so for now, I've taken the lid out of play. Okay, it's still here in case I need it, but right now it's out of play. I want this liquid to reduce a little more. It's still on, you know, medium low, low, medium low, closer to medium low. Stirring it so it doesn't stick. But I want the sauce to reduce more than it is. I want a thicker gravy, you see? Okay, now I just tasted the bean. It's just about there, but I want this liquid to reduce some more. Actually, I'm not trying to make soup, but the bean is delicious. As a matter of fact, I see another one I'm going to get here. Let me get this. No, it's going to be hot. Wow. That's amazing. It's already been an hour and a half. But you know, these beans, they can take up to 2 hours to cook. But these are pretty much done. My issue is the amount of liquid. So I'm going to let these go for another 15 minutes. And then we're going to plate up. Alright, this is done. Let's plate it up. Okay, we got our rice here. Now we're going to put our chili on it. Nice portion right in the center. Make sure we get the beans. We put a lot of work into getting them beans, so we're going to use them. Right, I made a little sauce. A sour cream based sauce. So we're going to hook that up. There we go. Make it look good. Yeah. Because you know if I don't, the peanut gallery won't eat it. But anyway, I digress. Put a little bit of greenery on it. Gotta be nice. Gotta be tidy. Yeah. So there we have it. So here we have it. Chili con carne, house and straw style. Hey, if you like this recipe, give me a thumbs up. Hey, if you're not part of the Peanut Gallery, hey, subscribe. We got room for you, and you know we'll keep the light on for you. Hey, hit that notification bell. Also, if we're not hooked up on Instagram, put my name in on Instagram, right? And then look for the gray cat, and let's connect. Also, if you could, share me out. Much appreciated. That being said, this Shrashira, I am out because I'm about to eat quite nicely.